and welcome to another video for Auto Solutions Checkpoint. Today we're going to be uncovering a 2010 Volkswagen Golf 2-litre TDI. It has a potential ECU fault. It was stripped out a couple of years ago and never really anything done with. There wasn't the proper diagnostics equipment at the time. So we're going to put a fresh battery on it and see if we can get any more information and see if we can get it running. If we can get it running, it'll be worthwhile getting out and getting it all cleaned up. It's over 200,000 miles, but it was in pretty decent condition at the time. I reckon if it was cleaned up and a wee MOT on it, it'll be a cheap wee diesel for somebody. Because it actually was running, but it was like an intermittent running fault, and then it stopped running completely. It wouldn't even do anything when you turn the key round. Wouldn't, like usually if it's immobilised or something, it's not going to do anything, but it wasn't the immobiliser that was stopping it. The ECU was took out, stripped down, cleaned and put back together again. It still didn't make a difference. A lot of people at the time were saying wiring, but it's not known in particularly where to look. You know, I know there's maybe common breaks in the looms of these, but I really don't know where to look. So I'm just going to put a fresh battery on it, just a fresh outlook. I took all this time away from it. I plug the computer in, I've got nothing to lose and lots to gain. Now bear in mind, this was stripped out before. It sustained a little bit of damage at the side of the vehicle whenever it was put in here. Yeah, here we are. A bit of damage on the door, and there's a wee bit in the sill somewhere as well. But yeah, this here was very tidy when it first got brought in. Obviously the wing mirror doesn't really help things much. But we're going to be getting the battery off it. Yeah, I think it was Miss Soul's TDI at the time. So I've now got a fully charged battery on. I've got the top done plugged in. I've got the software downloaded for it. I'm going to do a health check before I do anything. Hopefully this will allow me into the system. Now note the fan is automatically coming on. Spending a long time on 2%, it's now on 3%. Just bide my time with it. 3 minutes later it's on 10%. This is how my day's going. We're now on 17 minutes and we're at 80, we're at 98, 100%, and there's been no communication whatsoever with the ECU. Now the only other thing I can think of, see, because we've stripped the ECU down and checked the condition of it, it seems fine. Obviously I don't know what I'm looking for. Obviously I'm looking for broken solder or verdigris on the circuit board. There was neither. It could still be faulty. But the only other thing I can think of is the immobiliser. If the immobiliser module is like caked with water or whatever, it could also stop communication with your ECU. So I'm going to start by taking the wiper motor out. See how we get on with that. Need to get this plug off first before I start. Right, so screwdriver just in here, as low as you can get. That should be enough to get it off. Correct. mil. That's us ready to bring it off. Need to be very, very careful whenever you're removing this. You really do not want to crack the windscreen. I would be so surprised if this was what was causing the problem all along. Even you spend too much time on a job, start to lose heart with it. You come away from it and go back to it at a later stage. Now, my equivalent of a later stage is well over a year. But we've got a fresh mind, a fresh outlook, and fresh ideas. At the end of the day, every day is a learning curve. See, whoever says that they know everything, or they think they know everything, they're absolute wrong one. You want to be disconnecting the battery again. You do not want to take them. On the top of the Immobiliser control unit, there's a little plug. Yes, look at that. That's where our problem is. The Immobiliser. Go and see if I've got any electrical contact cleaner. And I'm going to give this wee circuit board a clean up. It does have a bit of corrosion on it as well. Under closer inspection of that circuit board, it was pretty bad. I give it a clean with the electrical contact cleaner. 100% I'm not going to be using that, but what I done was I give it a clean, and I've got it on. I've got the battery connected as well, so I want to see if I can actually get it running with that cleaned up, just in case it does start. Then I know 100% sure that is the only contributing problem. Here goes nothing. Absolutely nada. Okay, I've took it off and I've caked the circuit board in WD-40. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I've had problems before with circuit boards and you've sprayed it with WD-40 just to get a circuit. If there's corrosion on that, I'll leave it eat into that circuit and hopefully we'll get a start. I just want to know that it's starting with something done with that, because initially it was starting, it was just intermittent. So I've got to disconnect the battery. Got to take this Immobiliser thing away and see if I can cross-reference it online and see what I can come up with. See if we can have a starting golf soon. Okay, Immobiliser control unit has now been removed. So now putting the cap back on, because I don't know how long I'll be away from this. So I better tighten that up just to stop any more contaminants getting in behind that. It makes you think that looked bone dry in there. That was like corrosion. Maybe damp has got into it at one stage, which I've no doubt in my mind that's what's happened. Another thing could have been previous flood damage. Go cross-reference that online. Jobs are good. I feel like I've got a bit more clarity and a wee bit more further forward with this. Yeah, the panels are quite straight on this. The interior is in remarkable condition for the mileage. It may be worth putting my time and effort into. I think if I can get it running for a start, that'll be a good thing. I'll give it a good check over. We'll possibly take it up to the other unit and get a good look round it to see if it will require anything, because it's been off the road for so long, and then see if it's worth putting back on the road, because it'll look a totally different car with a wash, and obviously if it's sitting with a year's ticket on it, it doesn't really matter how, like if it's got scrapes and dings on it. At the end of the day, it's a 2010 Golf. You know, it's 12 years old. Somebody out there will buy it because it's diesel and it will be a good wee work commute. I've heard the engine on it and the engine sounds really good. So if we can get it going, obviously this video will make it to the channel, and you can see for yourself. Whether it's worth saving or not, I don't know, but at least if I get the engine running, I have something to show. If somebody's wanting to buy the engine possibly, and then we can maybe consider breaking it. I'm led to believe this front has been changed, so quite possibly it's had frontal damage, but when I heard the engine sounded sweet as a nut, and whenever I was inspecting it there was no chassis damage or anything, but I just feel that the front end of this here was quite fresh paint compared to the rest of it. Still a modern looking car, you know, it's maybe not the nicest of colours, but it would do somebody a really nice turn. I just love making work for myself, so we'll get all this cleared up. We'll get the minibus hopefully started and out. I'm going to try and get this wee Golf out. I'll put the minibus back in, and the Golf, hopefully I can set it in the garage. The parts are already ordered for it, so fingers crossed we'll have a running Golf, and then I can focus on getting it ready and seeing if it's getting broke or getting MOT. But I just sort of let you see what I'm up to. That's not bad when you've not been started in about a year. Makes a damp inside, getting mould on it and everything. I really want to get this finished some year. I'm a savage. Looking at it in this condition, I haven't actually seen it from this angle because this bus has been in here for that long. Is it worth fixing? I suppose with a bucket of water over it will make a hell of a difference. But can we turn this round? Will we never see the road again? These are the questions that's going on round in my head. What do you guys think? Do you think it's worth saving? Now, this Golf hasn't moved in a lifetime, so obviously with the engine not working, it's been lying up for so long, the brakes will obviously be seized up. 2010 Golf TDI. It'll be like night and day. Obviously once it's washed, a wee wing mirror put on it as well. Round the back is in pretty decent shape. Just the bumper has paint flake. Engine itself, it's a perfect runner. Just obviously initially we thought it was the ECU. Well, I think I'll get it cleaned up. Obviously I want to get it running first before I even touch it visually. So I reckon it would tidy up. It would tidy up if I can get it running, and then I can check and see if it needs much for an MOT. If it doesn't need much and just needs kind of tidied up a wee bit, I'll do it. But if it's needing a lot to spend on it, I'll body swerve it and just break it, and at least I have proof of it running. All the junk has been took out of it and binned, and anything I'm keeping I've put in the boot. But you can see from the interior, even over at the driver's side, is quite decent and would clean up very good. Whether or not it hits the road, that's another thing. And just to recap, it's 231,000 miles. It's hard to believe this thing's never been a taxi. The wifey used it to get up and down the country to her work. She actually was a rep, like a makeup rep. That's some mileage to clock up on a 2010 Volkswagen Golf that has been off the road for maybe about 2 years now, maybe more. The parts are all nice and clean whenever they're being removed and in storage. Obviously the vehicle is getting flushed. But on the other hand, if it is getting fixed, obviously I want to work on a clean vehicle up in the unit rather than something that looks like this. I will be constantly cleaning it after myself with dirt and that falling off it. If the camera's picking it up, that is a different colour, a different shade. But at the end of the day, it's an older car, so decent tapping head. Whether or not it's registered damage, that's another thing. If it's not, penalty kick, because everything is perfect. On the chassis legs and that, the last thing you want is a category S marker. Category N you can deal with, but category S is a no-go. Well, in my eyes anyway, I'm not too keen on category S cars. Category N, just light damage. Different so far. Look at the water. A nice wee car, but depending on what it's like mechanically after the Immobiliser control unit is sorted. Cleared a good bit of space so I can put the minibus now. So the car has now had a chance to dry. The bonnet isn't looking too great. but it could be either tree sap or maybe just grease. Might polish out, I don't know. Well guys, today's the day. The Immobiliser control unit has arrived. Well, if we're going on first impressions, it is well packed. Any parts I sell I pack exactly the same. Oh, smashing. Right, I just want to check the inside circuit because I don't really want to be going to this extent if the circuit is manky. I don't know if they've maybe had this off to inspect it, but it's always best. Oh, immaculate. Absolutely immaculate. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's how a circuit board should look. Right, so I'm feeling a bit more positive here that the Golf might be running today. Woohoo! So the weather is a bit better today. We're just at the Golf. We're going to put a battery on and put the Immobiliser control unit on. So please bear with me because the only tool that I've brought is a small screwdriver and a 10mm. I forgot to bring the ratchet. I also didn't bring the tripod, so there's nothing for the camera to sit on properly, so I've just got it sitting on an old metal rack within the spare pile. Cover's removed, just need to get the Immobiliser control unit. If you spend too long on a job, you tend not to see the obvious things, and I think that's what's happened. You know, I've took time away from that job and went back to it with a clear mind, clear vision, and new ideas, and that's what it's all about. Because otherwise this would have sat for another couple of years with nothing done to it, because to be honest I wouldn't have felt comfortable selling the engine if somebody hadn't actually heard it running. I'd heard it running, but they would need to take my word for it, and it would open up a big can of worms if they got it and maybe something was wrong with it or whatever. I would have a bit of explaining to do. So it's better it's done right than wasting anybody's time. So I'm going to put the key in the ignition. If you see any flames coming from it, phone the fire brigade. So the fan comes on whenever the ignition's on, but whenever the ignition's off, it's clicking from relay 100. Right, and that should be the click whenever you turn the key round to switch on. I'm nearly sure 100 relay is for the ignition side of things. So could it be wiring? Well, I feel so disappointed that didn't work. The fan's on constantly. Whenever you turn the key off, you're getting a clicking noise from relay 100 constantly. Occasionally the clicking noise stops and then there's nothing, but it just seems to be intermittent, so I'm thinking maybe now it'll either be wiring or my worst scenario would be the ECU, which I thought that's what it was to begin with. The thing that's annoying me is that the vehicle is such a good runner. I've heard it run, I've drove it, it's superb for that mileage on it. It is fantastic. However, the people that buy the engine off me has only got my word for it, and that engine's superb. Just they wouldn't believe me unless they heard it themselves. And this is the kind of bracket that I'm falling into. Do I continue and try and get it going? At the end of the day, I've got nothing to lose, because this was bought a couple of years ago and I forgot about it basically. So at the end of the day, I'm not really going to be losing out much because I forgot about it. So annoying. But anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. I may as well just put this video out and then hope, fingers crossed, that somebody seeing this will think, right, well, I've heard of this before and this is the problem. But no, my luck, it's not. Nothing's as simple as that. So anyway, you guys take care. I'm away to do some proper work because I am absolutely scundered here. But you take care. 1010 over and out. Auto Solutions Checkpoint. What? See you later.